Yeah, so the first one is just give you a quick overview of who Magento is and what we do. I think it's important to kind of start with that. I'm going to then talk about some B2B stories, so I have 4 customer examples. I'm going to walk you through and kind of talk to you a little bit what's possible with Magento. Some of these are bigger companies, some of these are slightly smaller companies. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the market share that Magento has and where we're seeing interest most from our customers, and then go into the roadmap and features as well. So just before we start, is anybody here using Magento already? A little bit? Yeah, perfect, great. Has everybody heard of Magento before? Yeah? Anybody not heard of Magento? No? Okay, perfect. So Magento is about 9-10 years we've been in business. We came from a company called Varian that initially was developing websites. So it was an agency. About 10 years ago, they actually started winning European customers and very quickly realized that there was no platform out there that was there to handle the complexities of a European market with multiple VAT rates, with multiple languages, multiple countries, all of the problems that you get and challenges that you have by breaking into the European market. So they developed Magento. It became very, very successful, and it was spun out as its own business. And since then, it's done extremely well. We were part of eBay for a while. As Michael mentioned, we're now an independent company. Actually, tomorrow we're exactly 1 year independent, and we've a little celebration planned for that as well. And since we've left eBay, we actually managed to launch a whole range of new products. And the one you see on the left here, so Magento Digital Commerce, is what everybody knows on the Magento, and you can see how small of a part that is of our business now. While it's still probably our biggest revenue driver, it is one part in a much more complex set of products that we offer. So digital commerce for us is what you know as Magento. It's Magento Community Edition. It's the Magento Enterprise Edition. About 3 or 4 months ago, we launched the Magento Cloud Edition as well. So we're actually giving our enterprise customers the opportunity and the possibility to host directly with us and have us look after their full infrastructure. Of course, you're still able to host yourself. You're still able to host with our hosting partners, but it's something we offer. We have a commerce order management system, so an OMS system that's particularly interesting for customers that have multiple warehouses, multiple stores maybe where you can pick up goods. That product is actually 15 years old now, but it's something that we've taken over from eBay Enterprise through the split. So something that fits very nicely in the omni-channel world with the Magento product portfolio. We also bought a company about, again, 3 or 4 months ago called RJ Metrics, which is being renamed into Magento Analytics. And that was somewhat of a request that came from a lot of our customers, having an easier way to look across metrics across the board. So not just from e-commerce, but also maybe from your digital marketing teams, maybe from your complex SAP systems and ERP systems where you want to get a full overview over what your customer is doing, an overview of what products are successful, what products are not so successful, what promotions are successful, what the ROI on different sectors is. So that's kind of our product portfolio. So you can see it's more than what you might have known from Magento. We've also launched a Magento Marketplace, which is essentially like an app store for these products so that developers and the community can build products. And as I speak of community, on the bottom right, the Magento Partner System and the Magento Partner Network is something that's crucial to Magento. We've always been an open source company. We've always been an open company. We have over 1 million people that are registered and have accounts on our website that contribute to the community, that contribute either code if they're more on the techie side, or maybe on the help boards and the forums if they're more on the business side or on the user side. But that partner and ecosystem is crucial for us. The fact that we're at the dotmailer offices today presenting this shows as well how big this community is here in the UK. We've a lot of technology partners, which you see in the middle, which are complementary solutions to Magento. So dotmailer is part of that, but also we have people like PayPal that we part of that ecosystem. Additionally, solution partners, where Monsoon, of course, is here today. We have a lot of solution partners. Monsoon would be one of our partners that focus and concentrate on the B2B market. So we're very happy to be here with them today. And that kind of encompassing ecosystem is something that makes Magento unique. On the left-hand side, we have the resources that Magento offers separate from its products. We have 3 types of resources. So there's a consulting arm that works with our partner network to help in very complex projects. We have our support teams that support customers as well as our partners. And then we also have Magento U, which is Magento University, so a training arm that will help you get trained up if you decide to work with Magento. One slide, I'm just going to build this up, that talks a little bit about what our customers have told us what they like about Magento. So the first one, I've talked about this already, is the openness and flexibility of the platform. If you're a fashion merchant that sells 1,000 SKUs and you sell that on the high street, a simple e-commerce platform might be something that's enough for you. But if you're in a B2B world, which we're all in today, you've got complex requirements. A closed platform is not something that's going to necessarily work for you. You need the ability to take your complex processes and put those into a system that works for you. So using a closed, not configurable, not changeable system is not something that will work. And so that's something that we're very proud of. We're open source, we're flexible, we're extendable. It's always going to be open source, and it's always going to be flexible. So the first point. The second point I've talked about already, the ecosystem, something we're very proud of as well. The size of the ecosystem, the vibrancy and the number of people that we have in the ecosystem is something that is definitely unique about Magento. Leading time to market, easy for me to say that. Do go out and do your own research on that. We see sites launching as quickly as 8 to 12 weeks. Obviously, in the B2B world, if you do have complex SAP systems in the background, complex ERP systems, it's going to be a little longer, but we still are definitely the leader in terms of getting your sites live on time, and as the next point as well, on budget as well. So in terms of total cost of ownership, we have always been the leader, and we're committed to staying the leader in that field as well. So we'll try and not spend a huge amount of money on marketing and on huge sales teams that will go out and essentially make the product more expensive. We're a very lean team. We're a very small team. We focus our resources on the development of the product, so that we can offer the best and the most competitive prices. And then it is a low risk platform. I say low risk because you're not going to be the first one to do this. We have 7,000 customers that are live on our enterprise version. We have over 200,000 customers that are live on our community edition. So there's a massive amount of knowledge there in the market. There's a huge amount of companies that have done this before. So it's low risk and it's future ready. We've just launched our 2.0 version of the platform about a year ago. So it's using all the latest technologies. It's ready for the future. Any questions here? I can take a quick question if there's anything. So don't feel free to jump in. Otherwise, I'll keep going. So market overview, and this is something I just want to talk about a little bit because it's something that we've built up over the years. And Internet Retailer is an organization based out of the US that ranks all the websites, e-commerce websites, by the revenue that they do online. So at the top you've got Amazon, number 2 you've got Apple, and then all the way down to whatever the top 1,000 are. So as you can see in the US, Magento is by far the biggest platform used amongst those top retailers. We've got 202 out of the top 1,000 sites are using Magento. You can see our next biggest competitor has about 70. So very popular in that US market. Roughly the same proportions. So for Europe, the numbers are lower because for Europe, the Internet Retailer guys chose the top 500 sites to analyze, but the proportions are roughly the same. So we're about twice the size of our next biggest competitor. The same in Latin America, and then again for the B2B world, just under half, over double the customers using Magento than the next biggest competitor. And I don't really like saying this to an audience like this, but we haven't really tried in B2B yet. So this is without us trying. We're just about to launch our B2B modules. We're just about to kind of start a marketing initiative into the B2B world, and this is kind of the very start of this. But even without trying, we're still the #1 player in the B2B market. And that comes back to the flexibility of the platform. That comes back to the ability of our amazing partner network to actually take an open platform and transform it and make it into something that works in the B2B world. And it's a focus field for us today, and we hope to grow this massively over the coming years. And another slide, this is probably a little more direct, and this is looking at the European market in general, so it's the B2B and the B2C market. You can kind of see the competitors that we have in the market, and a couple of things I want to highlight. So the first one is we're still by far, we've the largest market share in that top 500 in Europe, but what I want to highlight is the growth really of Magento. So over the last years, we've become a lot more professional. We've won a lot of customers. But the story behind this slide is actually quite interesting. It's not like we've won customers from our competitors in this market, but what we've actually done is that our customers are growing quicker and are replacing other customers in this top 500. So we haven't really won, customers over from these other platforms, but we've outgrown those platforms and we've pushed more of our existing customers into the top 500. So quite a nice story and quite a good proof point for Magento as well, that we can help you really grow in your industry. All right, so I'm gonna keep going and get into a couple of case studies of customers that are using Magento in the B2B world and in the B2B scenario. So the first one, I just have the logo up here. I won't talk much about this. We've got the guys here from Uniphar and Monsoon. They're going to talk a little bit more in detail at the end of the day about this case study. Very, very interesting case study. So I'll skip this one for the moment, and I'll talk to you a little bit about the Volkswagen Group. I did sales on the German market for Magento for about 4 years, and it was one of the customers. We kind of thought, it's great to have them as a logo, but we're too small for these guys. We're not really going to get anywhere here. So what we actually have done with them at the very start was that we did a small marketing site for SEAT. So they were selling a couple of jackets, a few pens, some of the model cars, and that was all good. It was a B2C based site, and it was going well, but they were actually that happy with the platform that they came back to us and they said, well, look, all of these dealerships that we have, they need to order on a weekly basis a lot of things from us, be that marketing material, be that kind of the posters that they have up, the brochures, all of that stuff, and they need to order from us directly. So we worked with them, and it actually turned out quite well. So we built a site for them where all of their dealerships and all of the places where you get your car serviced now order all of their marketing materials directly from Volkswagen through a Magento platform. So something where, again, unexpected, but worked out very well for us. And again, the story kind of kept going. This was with SEAT. Then about 6 months later, both SEAT and Skoda came back to us and said, well, look, this has worked so well. Why don't we do this for spare parts? And again, we kind of scratched our heads and we were like, okay, well, sounds good. But this was, 3 or 4 years ago. We were quite new to the B2B world. We worked very hard with them. Today in Germany, in Switzerland, in Austria, every single spare part for the Skoda and SEAT cars are ordered through the Magento platform. Very complex B2B scenario. Volkswagen is SAP's biggest customer, so you can imagine the complexity of the SAP system that's in the background there. So a huge integration that was done. It works extremely well, and this was actually the catalyst a few years ago that made Magento decide to start looking at the B2B market in more detail. And over the last years, again, we've done a lot of work. We've done a lot of work and developed a platform. An example slightly closer to home, so Screwfix, and I guess a little bit of change of tact here. So Volkswagen and what they've done is what we would call a very traditional B2B business. So it's really, big businesses ordering from another big business. Screwfix is a little bit different. It's a very small businesses. Your plumbers, your handymen that are ordering from a large company. For us, really, it is nearly like a B2C scenario, but it is definitely a B2B scenario for them. So very different site. We run all of Screwfix's international businesses. So we don't have the UK site today. We run all of their international businesses, and they're very successful running on Magento. And again, it's very much a B2C style side, but that works very well in the B2B world, because these guys, you know, you've got the plumber, they're fixing something, they need something tomorrow morning. They're not going to go home and sit down on a complicated, complicated ordering platform and try and order something. They need something that works on their mobile phone. They want to have it ordered very quickly. They're happy to pay by credit card or on account, depending on the size of their business. So they need a simple and easy platform. So if you want to check this out, if you put in screwfix.es or .ie, you can see the site that runs on Magento. So then kind of the last story is Burger King, and again, this is for I believe Spanish, Italian, German, Swiss, and Austrian markets. Every time a Burger King franchise, because it's fully franchised in those countries, every time a Burger King franchise wants to order anything that they need, they order that from a company called QSL Logistics, and that company runs their full logistics platform on Magento. So anytime a Burger King store needs burgers or buns, or if they need straws or cups or oil or anything like that, they would order it through the Magento platform. It's a very complex system, and this time it's integrated with Microsoft Dynamics, so a huge Microsoft Dynamics integration, all the way up to actually, the route planning for the trucks that obviously are refrigerated and need to be quite efficient in going through to these individual restaurants. It's all done within the Magento platform. Heavily customized, only possible because it is an open source platform that allows the system to be changed in a way that a scenario like this can actually be done directly on the platform. So there's kind of 4 examples. Hope that's given you a little bit of an idea of the complexities that you can achieve if you want to with Magento. So I'm going to go into the roadmap and the feature set of Magento, and talk a little bit about what we're doing to actually develop the platform to make it more relevant and easier to use in your particular industries. So the first thing is quite a busy slide, and part of me just wants to show you that we're doing a lot in terms of the roadmap, but there's actually quite a lot of relevant information on the slide as well. So we just launched version 2.1 of Magento, which is a very nice feature update to our 2.0 platform. So in 2.1, we've launched things like a staging and preview system that allows you to kind of work much more efficiently on the CMS side of things, on your marketing and promotion side of things. You can set up a site and look at what it looks like before it goes live. So quite a nice feature. We've included Elasticsearch support, something that's extremely popular within the B2B industry, especially if you've got a large number of SKUs and large number of items that you're selling. You need to have a search that works very well. You need to have efficient search capabilities. So Elasticsearch, being kind of the market leader at the moment in terms of search, has been integrated with Magento straight out of the box. Some other things may be less interesting for the B2B market. So PayPal extensions have been updated, and we're using the latest PayPal technology. The next release, or the next big thing that's coming, is the B2B module, and I have another slide on this, but that is what we're working on today. It's going to be done in 2 steps. The first step is already actually done, and in early next year, we're going to launch the full suite of B2B modules that are direct from Magento. Then I have another slide on this as well. So then in 2.2, again, you can see there's more things coming towards the end of next year around improvements around APIs, improvements around the user interface, both on the back end and the front end. And then kind of 2.3 will be a little bit later again next year with some additional improvements. But this will be shared with you as well. So if there's any questions, I'll be available to answer those as well. So then concentrating on the B2B module. So what we've done as of today, because we've had such a huge amount of inbound inquiries from the B2B business, we've actually pre-launched our set of modules to our partner network. So Monsoon, one of the partners, already have access to the code. So if you're really in a rush and you want to start developing tomorrow, you want to get into a project tomorrow, you can start with the partners, with our partner network. They already have access and they can start building sites for you with the knowledge that they know what's coming in the future. So it's a great tool if you are in a rush, if you want to get started straight away. Otherwise, H1, so early next year, we're going to be launching the full feature set of our B2B modules. And then I guess I'll go through, last slide for me, I'll go through some of the features that we actually have. I have a lot more detail on these. Again, at a later stage, if you are interested, we can go into this in a lot more depth. But if you do think of the kind of features that are relevant and interesting in the B2B world, you don't just have customers that go on a site and buy something. There's a lot of time there's a workflow process built into the ordering process. So you might have customers or buyers, I guess would be a better word, buyers with different rights, with different permissions, with different credit limits that they can spend. You might have multiple buyers in each of your customers that can purchase things, that might have access to different types of products and different pricing. So all of those things will be looked after with the big kind of feature set on the top left, the account set. So you have the ability to create a much more complex account type for your customers on the front end directly. The ordering process, again, will be very different in a B2B world. So we have the ability here to create things like requisition lists. So if you think of that, of that Burger King example, you have a store manager that's going to order the same type of products every Wednesday and every Friday. So we're making it very easy to do repeat orders, to kind of keep ordering the same things over and over again, even to the point where we're going to try and estimate what they might need in the future. So things like that we can build into the platform and are already part of the feature set. Quick ordering processes, a lot in the B2B world. You're not going to go and search for a product, and there's not always a need to kind of inspire a client. Sometimes they just want to go in, put in the SKU number and the quantity, and that's it. Boom, you order. So those kind of quick order capabilities will be built into the platform as well. Reordering, of course, very important. Then kind of quotes, something that we see as well that a lot of our customers asked for, the ability to not necessarily, create an order, but maybe create a request for a quote or a request for a proposal. So fill a shopping cart if you want and send that over to the sales team, to your sales team that can then kind of give a specific price on that product set that the customer potentially like to order. We have a full negotiation stage built in as well, so the customer or the salesperson can send back a quote. The customer can kind of say, well, what if I order 5 more? Can you do a better price? You can do full back and forth directly in the platform, fully tracked, full history available, and all the way down to the closing stages of the deal if you want. So yeah, quotes, notifications, and change history is all saved and stored and can be reused. And then catalog and pricing, something that's very important as well in the B2B world. So potentially down to individual customer teams, you might have different access to. They might have access to different products and different pricing. So again, just taking the Burger King example, they obviously have different pricing for different franchise owners. So you might have a franchise owner that owns all of the Burger King restaurants in the Bavaria area. So they obviously potentially might be able to get better prices than somebody that just owns one small restaurant. You might have the teams within the individual restaurants in Bavaria that might be able to just order a smaller product set, or might need to create their specific orders separate from the orders from the headquarters. So all of those capabilities will be into the catalog and pricing tools that we're launching early next year. So that's it from me.
How many of these features will be available in the community edition?
This will not be available in the community edition, but since you're the first one to ask a question, I'm going to give you a t-shirt anyway. There you go. No, so this is very much a this is very much a product that we're selling. So this is very much a B2B module. Now, if you do know about our enterprise pricing, it is today complicated for the B2B world. So the sales team, so Michael and the sales team will be able to talk through pricing with you. We're committed to do specific pricing at the moment on our B2B for our B2B customers. Again, because of the way our pricing works, it doesn't always work in a B2B world where you might not just bring in orders that are 50 or 60 euros per order, but you might have orders that are 10,000 or 50,000 or 100,000 euros per order. So our pricing is not necessarily adapted to that. So we'll make sure that there is relevant pricing available for our B2B customers. Then I guess just from because we talked a lot about features, right? I mentioned a lot about the features. I talked a lot about the feature set. There's a lot more than features that you need, when you bring a B2B business online. And I think this is something that guys from Monsoon see every day, that the partners I work with in Germany to do the Burger King stuff, you're talking about really changing your company, right? You're not talking about, oh, can I do, this feature, can I do that feature? You need somebody to take you through, how do I explain to my sales teams that the website is not their enemy? How do I explain to my how do I explain to my customers that they now, don't call my sales team, but that they can start the process online? So there's a lot of business consulting that comes with this. There's a lot of business issues that go much deeper than a feature set that come with trying to transform your business. And it's not something we can put on a set of slides because it's different for every business. Some of you might have sales teams, some might not have sales teams. Each of you will have an individual set of challenges trying to, for lack of a better word, they're trying to implement this software. Because you're not just implementing software, you're really changing the way that the business works. And I guess that's what we're here for. So we've done this many times before, especially our partners have done this many times before. We're here to help on that side as well, and not just sell you a piece of software and a feature set, and then let you figure out how you're going to talk to your sales teams and to your to your in-store people and staff.
To that point, actually, has there anybody kind of gone down this road at any point and tried to look at an attribution model? I don't know whether people know what I'm talking about when I say that, but if you've got a sales team out on the road and you're pushing your e-commerce platform really hard, and obviously the sales team sees this channel as a threat because potentially they're commission incentivized. So how do you change? Has any business kind of attempted to change the mindset of a sales team to be what we hear often, this phrase of becoming an order maker rather than an order taker? So how can we turn these people into relationship management people rather than people who come in with a hard copy order form into a customer, take an order, pick up the phone and call it in to their customer service team? And this idea of attribution. So if I'm going in and I'm talking to my customer and I'm encouraging them to go online, how is that? This is a huge challenge for business who want to keep a sales team on the road and want to create the face-to-face relationship that they have that they want to maintain with their customers. So how do we do that? And this is a huge challenge for business. And I'm not sure that anybody's really cracked it yet in terms of a incentivization model for sales guys. When an order comes through online and that's a sales guy's customer, how are we incentivizing that sales guy? And this is has anybody even attempted to look at that?
There's more t-shirts.
We could take a lesson out of consumers. So Homebase struggled with that here, and they just decided, so they did get pushback from the stores to try to hold on to those customers, that they attributed all online sales to the store geographically closest to the postcode where the delivery went. So at the end of the day, what you need to do is break down that silo between e-commerce and sales. It's all driving revenue.
Correct.
Your e-commerce team isn't on commission. So what you need to do is convince the finance guys, you need to talk quietly because ours are just on this but convince the finance guys that, oh, hang on, e-commerce is great because we don't have to pay commission. Well, that's the wrong approach, because then you do end up with this us versus them kind of mentality.
Yeah.
We've tried it as a business, but it's very much driven from like the digital team, pushing to the sales team to say you should embrace this it hasn't worked.
No.
But again, I think we're taking the route now to say we're demonstrating like as a cost of sales measure. But it's a different skill set even. So I think it's about identifying like a salesperson, they're comfortable going in and taking an order. That's what they love to do. If you take that away from me, you say now we want you to go in and we want you to demonstrate new products, we want you to talk to the customer, we want you to business development. It's a different mindset. So it's going to take time.
Yeah.
And it is about incentivizing. It's about saying like don't worry, we're not going to incentivize you for sales, but we're going to incentivize you now for business development. Yeah. So it's going to take time. We tried it just in a very straight way. It didn't work, but for 2017 we're going to go with it again. So.
Okay. Any other questions before Mark leaves us? He'll be around for a little while longer and can take some questions around the feature roadmap, maybe.
Yeah, please.
So you mentioned that you can customize like pricing and catalogs based on a customer. What about if you sell a product that is customizable?
Mm-hmm.
Like we sell performance headwear, and so a lot of our B2B customers have their own logos and stuff that they want on product.
Yeah.
Is that able to be stored with each customer so they can?
Yeah. So there's a range of things you can do within Magento. So there's customizable products that actually as a product type. There's configurable products as a product type. If you're talking about printing logos on goods, it's absolutely fine. You can store that in the customer account, either on a company level or on the individual user level, and then reuse that data on a regular basis. I do only have XL t-shirts, so it's probably not your size, but we'll give you one anyway.